Hi, people. Today, I welcome you to this special podcast called the Growth Table with Dr. Bright, where we'll have a heart-to-heart discussion about growth, about life, about leadership, and capacity building. My name is Dr. Bright Nwankwo, and this is not just a podcast, it is a platform, an opportunity, and also an avenue to share my knowledge, my thoughts, and some of my experience in life, both as a leader, as a builder of men, and also as a father. You see, today we will be talking about something that is very special to my life, and that is called why growth is non-negotiable for every man. A man in this context refers to anyone that carries responsibility, either as a leader, either as a father. So it could be anybody. You don't necessarily need to be the male gender for you to be addressed as a man in this perspective. Once you have weight of responsibility that you are doing as a person, this context is what will apply to you. So you could be a leader, whether in your organization, your family, or in whichever place. But you could also be somebody who is committed to building people. So that is the context we are looking at it today. And you see, over the years, as somebody who has been committed to not just building houses, but is also building people, I've learned that one of the greatest dangers of every man is comfort. Comfort confines you. It also tricks you into believing that everything is fine or that things are working perfectly for you just because maybe things are not falling apart. Maybe things are just falling in places for you at that particular time. So it is a very great danger, and it is something that any man should not just dream to be comfortable at any point. So it is one of the things that affect every man. So growth is not just a luxury. It is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is a responsibility, and it should be a core duty for every man. In fact, growth is beyond a core duty. It should just be seen as a mandate. So every man who is alive is expected to grow. Is expected to give in his best to growth. You see, in most cases, this growth we are talking about is not even about you. Yes, some persons think it's just for me to grow. No, it mustn't be about you. In some cases, it is because of the persons whose destinies are also attached to your own growth. These persons could be your spouse, it could be your family members, it could be your team, it could also be your family, or even your church, or any place you find yourself. You also find yourself. This growth is important in every area of your life. So because they always say that if a man stops growing, that man also starts dying. It might not just be the normal death we talk about. It might be about decline in your relevance. It might be about decline in your value as a person. It might also be about decline even in your knowledge. So it's important that every human being should grow, irrespective of your status in the society. And I've also learned for some time now, a man cannot give out what he doesn't have. So that is the reason why growth is very, very important. For example, if you don't grow in wisdom or in knowledge, how will you lead people? That's the question that is important for every man. If you don't grow in wisdom or in knowledge, you cannot be able to lead. You can't be able to even lead your family as a father or as a mother. You can't even be able to lead the small group that God have also assigned to you as a person. So it's important that everybody should not just grow physically, should also grow in wisdom and in your knowledge. And two, if you don't grow in discipline, how do you model integrity? We are telling maybe some of the persons that are also associated with that they should be able to be accountable or should also be able to be professional in doing their job. But if you don't model discipline as a person, you can't be able to give out what you don't have. So you see why growth is important. And two, moreover, if you don't grow your businesses or you don't grow your finances, you can't be able to pay your own bills as a person. Yes, you can't be able to give out what you don't have. You can't be able to, even your own bills as a person, you can't be able to take care of it. Talk more of taking care of the persons whose destinies have also been tied to you, or even giving back to the society. You see reasons why growth are very, very important for every man. And this growth thing we are talking about is not something that happens overnight. It's not a magic. Because some person might think, you just grow. No, it's not a magic. Like if a child is giving birth to today, it's not that sometime that child now, if the height was, let's say, 50 meters before, with time, you can get to 60. I'm just giving an instance or an example. So that's to tell you that this growth thing is a gradual process, and it's something that doesn't happen overnight. But putting growth in this context that we're referring to it, that you discover that it involves series of grindings, it involves series of discovery, it involves series of investing in yourself, it involves series of even reinvesting in yourself. It's not about just attending seminars or going to church or reading your books. They're important. Yes, I can't rule out that they're not, and I can't say they're not important, but it is totally beyond that. It is totally beyond that. In fact, in most cases, you ask yourself, who am I dreaming to become like? What type of challenges am I likely to confront in the course of this my growth? Who am I becoming as a person?